aren't financially stable. Yes, 5 a.m. wake me. You have beef with some of the other YouTube teen moms. I'm loaded. You and Mitchell had a secret wedding. Get pregnant with twins next. Can't relate. Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to sit down and address some assumptions, I guess. I'm sure you've seen around the trend of the true or false thing go around on Instagram, and I asked you guys to send in some questions for a video. So we'll be right here answering some true or false statements, and I hope that makes sense. If you're new, be sure you go ahead and subscribe. The button is below. It's free, it's easy, and it notifies you when I post a new video, as long as you click the notifications and set them to all, just so nothing goes sideways, you know? Also, engagement is super important when it comes to YouTube and all of that, so definitely leave me your comments at any point in the video if you have anything to say. I would love to read them. I respond them and read them all the time, and they really brighten my day, so definitely leave those below. And likewise, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Thank you so much to everybody that sent in your assumptions. I will go ahead and leave my Instagram below if you want to be featured in the next video of these that I do. The previous video I posted addressed some current updates, if you're curious as to what's been going on in my life and why my uploads are a little bit more sparse than normal. Definitely check that video out. I am a lot more active on places like Instagram and TikTok. Check those platforms out if you want to keep up with me some more. So let's hop into some assumptions, true or false questions. Let's go. First one is, you would want to have a law degree someday. I think this is false, actually, and I know I have said for a long time that I might pursue law in the future, but since doing my student practicum, I feel like I saw a side to law that I don't want to be involved with. I don't think I want to do law school. Perhaps in the future things might change, whatever, but in this moment in time, I don't see myself doing that. And piggybacking off of that, I would like to film a video kind of sharing my entire criminal justice experience with you guys and tell you what it's been like for me and all the details. Next is, in the future you want to move out of Canada, and I think I've talked about this a few times here and there over my different platforms, but yeah, I would want to, but never for a long time. I think this will always be home since our families are here. This is just kind of the way where you've been. Mitchell has been here his whole life. I've been here for the last like 10 or so years. It's definitely home, I would say, but I would love to live in other places for a year or two or whatever. In different provinces, in different countries. I would love to live in Europe. Like living in France for like a year or two sounds just like the biggest dream ever. We obviously need to be able to work from home in order to make that come to fruition, but also, can you just go live in France for a year? I don't know. I think so, but we would have to figure that out. That's definitely the dream. You have a perfect relationship with both of your parents. This is false, actually. I am so incredibly jealous of anyone like Mitchell, for example. He has a great relationship with both his mom and his dad. His parents are still together. Can't relate. My parents got divorced when I think they've been separated since I was like probably 6, and then they divorced around 7. I'm not entirely sure. My dad is actually back in Ukraine. I haven't really spoken to him. Like, he will message me over Facebook. He recently, on my 18th birthday actually, or around then, he found me on Facebook, and we just sort of like occasionally be like, Merry Christmas, or happy whatever holiday. There's so many holidays. He's very religious. There's a lot of holidays that he like acknowledges, and he'll send that forward to me. I'm quite close with my mom. I always kind of have been. She's always been my person, my rock. So yeah, definitely my mom, but not at all with my dad. I don't really have like a dad figure in my life. My mom did remarry, but not really close there either. You are a morning person. I would say this is 100% true. Not to say that I just jump out of bed every morning and I'm like, yes, 5 a.m. wake me. Like, no, I definitely like to sleep and I have a hard time getting up most days, but I feel the most productive. I just love the mornings so much. I feel like once it gets to like 11:30, I'm just like, meh, I wish it was like 9 a.m. right now. Next one is, you want 3 to 4 kids, but you're gonna end up with 5 or 6. That's my statement. I love that for you. I feel like unless I get pregnant with twins next, we will end up having 3 kids. Accidents happen, whatever, but I don't think we intend to have more than 3 or 4. I think 4 is like the absolute limit, but 3 I think is what we'll end up with. Next one is, you're strict with Stefan. I mean, we're strict when it needs to happen. He's a really good kid. Like, just by nature, he's just a great kid, and he listens sort of. He's very good when it comes to like permission. He always has to get like verbal consent to do something. He'll never just like say something. He'll never be like, I'm gonna go do this and then go do it. He just like waits for permission, which I feel like is quite unique for his age. Mitchell's definitely more like authoritative with him. I saw a TikTok about how parents will often utter these empty like threats, and just I sometimes find myself doing the same thing, and it just leaves me feeling really yucky. So when you're all day like, if you don't do this, you're not gonna do this, if you don't do this, you won't get this, like constantly all day long, not the way to do it. So what you do is you just change language and you go from if to when. So when you put away your plate, you can watch TV. When you eat your dinner, you can have dessert. And I feel like that just kind of changes the mindset for everyone. It's a lot less punitive, I guess, and just like threatening. So we've been trying to implement that a lot, and I feel like it just sets you up for just like a calmer attitude. I feel like we're strict when we need to be, but I think he has his freedom. We want to have a good relationship with him. He already, I feel like, is a very closed off person. Like he doesn't like to talk about feelings, talk about why he's upset, and I feel like it's kind of scary because he will only get worse as he grows older. So I think we really have to continue to work on a relationship if we want us all to be close. You and Mitchell had a secret wedding. BTW, love you loads. Love you. False. We did not have a secret wedding. If you've seen him wear a band, he does in fact wear one sometimes when he remembers, but the kids and I proposed to him last Father's Day, so in June. I'll link that video below for you, but that is why he has, it's like an engagement band. We certainly do intend to get married. It's just kind of like a process. I haven't really started wedding planning at all just because I have so much on my plate with school. I just do not have the time, and I don't want it to be a stressful experience, so I've kind of been pushing it off. But I think we're like more seriously starting to talk about it and figure out when we want to get married. And it sucks with the way the world is right now just because it's really complicated. Like not only are you not able to have everyone that you want, probably people are most likely, actually they are for a fact, booking into like 2023. What? Like that's insane. You know, I feel like most people rescheduled from 2020 onto like this year in 2022, and same with like people this year onto 2022. So it's just like a process. So we will get married. I don't know when, but hopefully sooner than later. Next one is you love working but you hate being away from your babies. 100%. I'm definitely like a, I don't know the word, but I'm not a stay-at-home mom personality. Like I could not do that for long periods of time. Love being with my kids. I love my kids. I love our weekends. I love our adventures, but I love work. I love my own thing. I love being an adult in that sense. I don't like adulting, but I like having a job. For years leading up to now, it's been school. Like that's been my thing. I've been going to school. I've been doing that. I want to work from home. I want, you know, to further this whole thing so I'm able to spend more time with my family and everything, but I could never just like be home without a job, if that makes sense. You were embarrassed of your C-section at first. 100% false. I've never been ashamed or embarrassed about getting a C-section. I've never viewed women that get C-sections as like less than, or that they didn't actually give birth. It's like, what do you mean? You were pregnant, now you have a baby. Something happened. It's called birth, regardless of how it happened. I've always been very vocal about it, advocating for it, because there's so much negativity when it comes to C-sections. Not to discredit any women that have had horrible experiences with C-sections, or, you know, just really, really emergency like situations. I also had an emergency C-section with Stefan. It was not like a happy go lucky experience, but it was smooth. Like I really enjoyed it. I laid on a table for 40 minutes. My baby was brought out of me safely. He was then taken care of. I've never felt a contraction in my life, which is kind of crazy that I have 2 kids. I don't know what a contraction feels like, but I do remember before I had mine, I was very scared about it. And I think that's the perception a lot of people have, is that it is scary and it's just this horrible thing, which is why I try to be vocal about the fact that it actually isn't all that bad for some people. It just depends. It's a case-by-case thing. Next is you would never move to the USA. Never say never. I could definitely see us moving to the US. Obviously we'd have to have a purpose, I feel like. I don't think we would just up and go, but I'd love to live in like California. Are you kidding me? It's so beautiful there. The weather's amazing. The ocean. I've been dreaming about the ocean, you guys. I need to get out of this city. It's been like a year, much like for most people, that we have gone anywhere, and I'm I'm not down for it, you know? But also like places like Oregon. I love Oregon. It's beautiful there. Next one is, you want to visit Ukraine with the kids. Yes, definitely I want to visit Ukraine with the kids. I tried to go back a few years ago, but there's just been a lot of like political stuff going on that it just didn't feel safe, I guess. I would love to show my kids and Mitchell just kind of where I grew up and how I grew up. I think it'd be really cool. So for sure, I don't see it happening anytime soon, and it also wouldn't really make sense to do anytime soon. And with the kids especially, it's like why it's just be miserable, you know, dragging these little kids around. And I haven't been in wherever, like I was 9 years old when we came to Canada, so like I haven't been in a long time either. I feel like I have memories, but they're not very vivid. And perhaps romanticized, so we'll see. You have beef with some of the other YouTube teen moms. False. 100% false. I do not have beef with anybody. I wouldn't say I'm honestly super close with anyone. I don't really FaceTime or talk to anybody on a daily basis, but I am like closer with some girls than others, and nothing has happened. There's no fallout going on anywhere with anyone that would lead me to have beef with them. Everyone I have met has been great. I miss so many girls. It's crazy like how hard it is to do long distance friendships. Mitchell is 6 feet tall. False. This is false. It's interesting because when you see photos of us, we are pretty similar height, so I wonder if you guys think I'm also like 5'8". I'm not, and neither is he. I am 5'5" and he is about 5'7". 5'8", so we're pretty short actually. Next is, you aren't financially stable. And like I would say true, I am a college student. I think a lot of people have the assumption that I am loaded because of YouTube. You guys, YouTube is not a sustainable income. I have student loans, much like any other college kid. I put myself mostly through school. I had some RESP that my mom was able to put away for me, which has helped obviously. Any bit helps, but I have student loans, all the fun stuff. We're okay, we're doing fine because of that. I wouldn't say we're like financially stable or rich or whatever. I think I mentioned how in the past I was doing like a small Starbucks giveaway just to like say thank you, and I think it was during the holidays or whatever, and somebody just like sent me a super like rude message and was like, why don't you pay for someone's tuition instead of a $25 gift card to Starbucks or whatever. And like you don't know, like obviously that person has absolutely no idea what our financial situation is like to say stuff like that. I mean, if obviously I have to have student loans for myself, that means I can't just flat out pay my student tuition, so obviously I can't just like do that for somebody else. So I'm not worried about it. I'm not stressed about money, if that's your question. And the last little assumption I'm going to address is, you love Canadian winters. This is actually quite false. As we speak, there is an extreme cold warning in effect where we live. So it's cold, y'all. It's like -30 right now Celsius, so it's crazy. It's certainly beautiful. The mountains are gorgeous in the winter, you know, the trees, everything is beautiful, but it's freezing. Like it's so cold. But yeah, I definitely get like some seasonal, I don't know if depression is the right word, but moodiness perhaps. It's not like super gloomy for however long, but it's just super cold from like September to May, and it's just a lot to handle sometimes. So yeah, I don't love it. I wish it was cold and snowy for 3 months instead of like 9. So those are going to be all of the assumptions I'm going to answer in this video. Thank you again to everyone that has sent in some. I love doing stuff like this just so you guys get to know me a little bit better, and I feel like it strengthens our bond, you know. Again, if you want to be part of the next Q&A or whatever it is in the future, definitely head over to my Instagram. I post on my stories every day, so if you just kind of want to see what's going on day to day, definitely a good place to check out. Let me know what videos you guys would like to see from me. Hopefully you are all staying warm and safe. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. I think the groundhog declared an early spring, so there's hope. Let's all just be faithful here. Definitely subscribe if you're new. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.